Access show notes and learn about our English courses for economists by visiting our website, englishforeconomists.com. Hello, welcome. I am Alan Robert, and I am your host at English for Economists. These podcast English lessons are made for economists or anybody else who needs to read, talk, or write about the economy in English. I'm so happy that you could join me. This is podcast number 1, and today our topic is the London Interbank Offered Rate, or as you might know it, Libor. Let's begin with our key vocabulary. Listen to these words and their definitions. You'll hear them used later. The first word, benchmark, a point of reference against which things might be compared or assessed. Syndicated loan, a loan offered by a group of lenders. Gauge, to estimate, to measure, or to determine a size or an amount. Conflict of interest, well, that's when someone gets a personal benefit from their official actions or decisions. Fine. That's a penalty, usually of money, that a court of law or other authority decides has to be paid as punishment. You pay a fine when you do something wrong. Underpin. That means to support, to be the basis for something. Great. These are all very useful words for an economist to know. Now, I'll repeat these words later, together with their definitions. But right now, I'd like you to listen closely to hear how they are used in context. You'll hear lots of other vocabulary too, and it doesn't matter if you don't understand everything. Don't worry about it. It's all good practice, and little by little, you'll improve. All right, so what is the London Interbank Offered Rate? Libor, as it is known, is the interest rate major global banks use to lend to one another in the international interbank market for short-term loans. Libor changes from day to day to reflect the reality of the marketplace. It can rise, it can fall, or it can stay the same. Financial agents use Libor as a benchmark when they set their own interest rates for different products. They use Libor as a floating base. It's an internationally recognized reference point. It is a benchmark. Well, how is Libor used as a benchmark? Well, in a lot of ways. For example, the Libor benchmark is used in standard interbank products like forward rate agreements, interest rate swaps, interest rate futures, and options. The Libor benchmark is also applied to commercial products like floating rate certificate of deposits and notes, variable rate mortgages, and syndicated loans. You will also see Libor used as a reference rate to set interest for consumer loan-related products like individual mortgages and student loans. So, yes, Libor is a big deal, Now, the problem is that back in 2012, Libor lost its reputation as an honest and trustworthy benchmark. Why? Well, this happened when regulators discovered that the banks that had been contributing information to set the Libor rate had been manipulating the information they released. Now, these banks did this to profit from their own trades. And of course, this was a big conflict of interest. And not only that, it was illegal. Since that time, global banks have paid more than $9 billion in fines for their role in the scandal. And Libor has been moving out the door because it was used for so many years by so many financial agents. Libor still underpins more than $300 trillion worth of contracts. This means that a move to another benchmark rate includes a tremendous amount of work. These contracts can be very complicated, and all of the parties need to agree on changes to the underlying rate. Banks and investment firms still have a big job ahead, and time is running out. Remember, you can find these show notes and information about our English courses for economists on our webpage, EnglishForEconomists.com. Okay, here's the key vocabulary one last time. First word was benchmark, a point of reference against which things may be compared. Syndicated loan, a loan offered by a group of lenders. Gauge, to estimate, to measure, or to determine a size or amount. Conflict of interest. Well, that's when someone gets a personal benefit from their official actions or decisions. To underpin, to support, to be the basis for something. All right, that's all for today. The English for Economists podcast is new, so please go ahead and share it with your friends and colleagues. Also, if you have any suggestions or comments, write to me at alan@englishforeconomists.com. I would very much enjoy hearing from you. So, until next time, this is Alan Robert at English for Economists, wishing you a fantastic day. Take care.